We set ourselves up for failure every single year. I have spent countless Decembers feeling really stressed, like overly stressed over goals that I failed to achieve, and then trying to salvage what's left of the year with some final fatal push to try and achieve those goals. Then, come January 1st, I've basically given up on those goals that I failed to achieve the previous year, and I've set out for myself these brand new goals, believing that if I just, start really hard, working really hard from the get-go, that I will achieve success. Also, you're like a million miles away. There we go. This year, though, I'm approaching the year a little bit different. I'm approaching the end of this year different, and I will be approaching next year and the beginning of next year a lot differently as well. Rather than trying to launch myself into the new year with force and power and all of this ambition and striving, instead, I'm actually taking a look at my past experiences and my experiences from the past years, past New Year's, and I'm also paying attention to the natural cycle of life, whether you consider it the seasons or just how humans the natural cycle of being a human being in general. So today I'm going to be sharing the 3 things that I'm doing a little bit different that is going to help me start to prepare for that hibernation season. Number 1 is that I am having a calm, more reflective December. Now, December is busy enough, okay? December is busy enough without us desperately trying to salvage the year within 30 days, okay? December is a hectic, chaotic bundle of different kind of living, okay? And for me, what I am doing, okay, I'm not saying that I'm missing out and not doing these different things, but in order to have a more calm, more reflective December, what I'm saying is I'm going to let December be December, okay? December is different. December is a holiday month. It is jam-packed, okay? We just finished Thanksgiving. We have a couple of weeks before Christmas, and then right after Christmas, it is the new year, okay? December is packed. And to think that we're going to achieve some grand goal within 30 days, within the busiest 30 days of the year that's absurd, okay? I know it's absurd for me. It has proven itself to be absurd time and time again. And so I'm letting December be December. I'm embracing the holidays. I'm embracing the holiday spirit and really living into the festivities, enjoying and partaking of the holiday festivities. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm not working or that I'm not doing anything or anything like that, but I'm not trying to overachieve, right? And so this more relaxed approach to the month of December, it actually gives me a little bit extra time, okay? It gives me a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of flexibility, and allows me to start to rest and to take it easy going into the winter season, which allows me to be a little bit more reflective. It allows me to think. It allows me to prepare and figure out okay, what do I really want next year to look like? And how do I want to go into the next year, and what do I want the beginning of next year to look like, okay? Because winter is the time of rest. The world rests, okay? And so we rest. We naturally want to rest. We naturally want to hibernate and draw in. And so really planning for that and figuring out, okay, what does this look like? How am I going to approach that time of rest? And so the first thing that I'm doing is having a more calm and a more reflective December. And right along those lines, like I just said, is that I am developing authentic and aligned goals, okay? 2025 revealed who I am authentically, okay? And what I actually want my life to look like and what I want it to represent. For years, I built goals for myself based on what other people had achieved, based on what other people told me was a good idea. And I'm not saying that anybody's wrong. Nobody's wrong for offering me suggestions, having opinions, or anything like that, but I internalized it, and I basically took their opinion as truth, okay? You said that this is a good idea, so it must mean that I have to do it, okay? I must do this because you told me it was a good idea. And basically just chasing success, just chasing, how can I succeed faster? And what ended up happening, since I wasn't pursuing aligned goals ever, what ended up happening is that I failed, okay? Year after year after year, I failed. I failed to do anything that was worthwhile or that I wanted to achieve, but I also just failed flat out, okay? Anything that I did pursue that was not aligned with me, I mean, it just crashed and burned because my heart wasn't in it, okay? My heart wasn't in it. And it wasn't for lack of work. In fact, I have worked my butt off, okay, since graduating college. In fact, before graduating college, I have worked my butt off. I mean, just work, no rest. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Okay, so it hasn't been for lack of work or laziness that I haven't achieved my goals. It is merely been that what I have been pursuing has been misaligned, okay? It has been so far off the target, so far off the bullseye that it's not even funny. And so what I am doing right now, what I'm really doing right now is it's like, okay, so what do I want? What do I want, okay? Understanding what I actually want, what has been that golden thread throughout my entire life and continues to be the golden thread, figuring out what that is. You know, writing, I've mentioned writing. Writing has been such like a massive thing, like a massive priority that I've put on the back burner for a really long time. And I'll be frank, that's stupid. Like, that's really stupid of me when everything I do goes back to the fact that I want to be a writer. And so, you know, really working to, oh, there's my puppy, really working to try and, you know, figure out what my goals are, what my goals look like, what it looks like to pursue those goals. Hi, Murray. Hi, buddy. Hi, bud. You coming into frame? Okay, and so having a firm understanding of what my goals look like, what my goals actually are, allows me to actually start to plan for what the year ahead is going to look like and what the new year, like what the first couple of months of the new year are going to look like for me. And that leads me to my third point, which is what I expect January to look like, right? Again, I said it. Winter is the season when animals hibernate, okay? Bears hibernate. Plants hibernate. Everything draws in. Everything sleeps. Everything just like it stops working. It stops working, okay? You see it on the trees already. They have no leaves. They're sort of shriveled looking. They're tired. Everything is sort of losing the greenness. Everything is reserving energy. Everything is coming inside and resting, okay? And humans naturally want to do the same thing. Okay, humans naturally want to do the same thing, but humans have sort of acted like we're the exception, okay? We are the superior species, right? Top of the food chain. We don't need to rest. We just work. We never rest, okay? We never have that season of rest. So nature has not changed. Science has not changed. What we need has not changed in however many years you think the earth is old, okay? None of that has changed. Humans naturally want to rest. Nature is resting. And so we act like we're the exception. And so what does that mean? Well, we enter the new year, we go into January and February, you know, just like going hard after our goals. We are determined. We're working hard. We're working extra hours. Never mind the fact that what we really want to do is like just take a while and be cozy and sleep a lot more and eat hearty food and do planning instead of actually executing, right? Never mind that that's what we want to do. We are desperately chasing those New Year's resolutions, those goals, okay? I am personally convinced that everybody fails their New Year's resolutions. Some people, they might actually execute them because perhaps their resolution is aligned with who they are. But I'm convinced that most of us, we just fail them completely, okay? We fail them horribly. And so I am working on adjusting what I think the month of January and February, okay? February falls into the same category. I'm adjusting what I expect from those months. I'm adjusting what I expect from myself and what I expect to achieve and what I expect to accomplish in those 2 months, okay? Instead of thinking, you know what, I am going to make a lot of progress on my goals in January and February, perhaps what I'm going to be doing in January and February is resting for one thing, okay? Keeping myself quiet, keeping myself cozy, staying warm, and resting, while simultaneously using that time to prepare, okay? Prepare for the goals that I want to achieve the rest of the year. Again, the resting period does not mean I'm not doing anything, okay? Just because I am saying, oh, I'm going to take it easy during the winter months, that doesn't mean I'm not going to do stuff. It means that I'm going to use my time differently. And I'm going to use that time to say, okay, you know what? I know that come spring, I'm going to be ready to get something done, okay? I'm going to come to life again, and I'm going to be ready to get something done. So I'm going to plan for what that is, okay? I'm going to prepare for whatever that is, whether that's I'm going to be saving money, whether that's I'm going to be making plans, whether that's whatever it is, I'm going to prepare for when I come back to life, basically, after the winter, after the harshness and the bitterness of the winter season. I'm going to prepare for the season when I come back to life. All in all, I mean, you probably are hearing it, the most prominent theme for this month and the months to come is a period of rest, okay? A season of rest. It's about planning. It's about getting ready for the time when I'm more inclined to pursue my goals and when I'm more inclined to be very ambitious, okay? This is a season of patience. The current approach that is preached to most everybody is that you need to achieve your goals and be successful within 30 days. 30 days, that's what you need, and that's all the time you have to achieve a goal, to be successful at a goal, okay? And we use January as this, if you're able to achieve your goals here in this month, then you're in a good place, right? Like, you are off to a great start. And we're also led to believe that if we don't start today, if we don't start working on our goals today, that we are lazy slackers. You know, potatoes that don't actually want to achieve our goals, okay? Because if you really wanted your goals, then you would put in the work, right? That's what you see. Put in the work. You would take the time. You'd lose sleep. You'd do, right? Like, you'd make your sacrifices. You'd forget about balance. All these kinds of things, okay? Basically, if you are not sacrificing your health, your wellness, and your contentment in life, if you're not sacrificing those things, then what is preached is that you are lazy, okay, and that you don't actually want your goals. Curating your life, though, okay, that's what we're doing here, okay? We're curating. We're curating everything. We are curating our life to be aligned with who we are. That takes patience. It takes time, and it takes time to plan. It requires you to slow down, because if you don't slow down, then you are not taking the time to be very intentional and to be very careful with the decisions that you are making, okay? If you are obsessed with that 30 days, you're obsessed with it, then you're going to end up working towards things that might not be aligned with you. Don't be like me. Don't be like past Ellison, who believed that in order to, be successful, to be seen as successful, to be seen as having a good work ethic, that I had to be advancing 100% of the time. If I wasn't progressing, if I wasn't working, then I thought I was lazy. I thought that I was, insufficient, that I wasn't worthy of the things that I wanted to achieve out of my life. If all you do is advance, though, then you're most certainly going to advance in the wrong direction at times, because you didn't take the time to think about it, okay? I didn't take the time to think about it, and so I advanced in a million directions that were all wrong for me. So when you take the time to prepare, okay, when you take this time to prepare, this is the season of preparing, the season of we're bringing our food together, right? I mean, we're naturally doing it, okay? We slapped Christmas on it, but honestly, this is what humans do. It's like, oh man, we're revving up for winter. We gotta gather all of our food together. It's sort of funny. I feel like a squirrel sometimes. But when you take the time to prepare, when you take the time to reflect and say, you know what do I actually want out of my life? Then it really, I'm not saying that it never happens, but it really does help you avoid taking a bunch of wrong turns. It really does help you avoid, pursuing things that it's like, I hate this. Like, what am I even doing, right? Obviously, there's some things that you don't know whether or not you like it until you pursue it. But when you take the time to really think things through and take the time to plan and take the time to reflect on who you are and what you want out of life, then, I mean, you are going to be more aligned in most areas, okay? Most of the time in your life, you're going to be more aligned. And if you would like to hear about how I am approaching Christmas a little bit different, then you should definitely watch my video where I am talking about how I am staying grounded during the holiday season.